Here's something most freelancers scrolling job boards right now don't realize. The market for ChatGPT gigs is genuinely saturated. We're talking hundreds of applicants per post, while the Claude AI side hustle niche is sitting there almost completely unclaimed. And the people who've already figured that out aren't just getting clients faster, they're charging more, sometimes 2 or 3 times more for nearly the same type of work. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly why that gap exists, what the specific workflow looks like, who's already paying for it, and how to position yourself as a beginner to land your first client, even if you've never freelanced a day in your life. Stick around, because at the 9-minute mark, I'm going to show you the exact service package that beginners are charging $200 to $400 for on Claude, and why clients are actually preferring it over ChatGPT deliverables right now in 2026. Let's get into it. So, why is there a Claude versus ChatGPT income gap in the first place? It comes down to signal to noise. Every Make Money with AI 2026 video you've seen for the past year has been pointing people at ChatGPT. Thousands of new freelancers flooded those gigs. Rates dropped, competition spiked. Meanwhile, Claude, built by Anthropic, has been quietly getting better at a specific category of work that most freelancers haven't even noticed: long document analysis. We're talking about reading, summarizing, cross-referencing, and extracting meaningful insights from dense, complex documents. Legal contracts, research reports, compliance filings, consulting briefs, the stuff most people find tedious to read, let alone analyze. And here's the kicker: that's exactly where clients have budget. Small law firms, consultancies, real estate groups, financial advisory offices, these are not bootstrapped solopreneurs trying to pay $12 for a blog post. They're organizations with real service budgets who will absolutely pay $200, $300, $400 for a clean, reliable document intelligence report that saves their team hours. Now, I want to show you what this actually looks like in the real world, and that means introducing you to Maya. Maya's in her late 20s, former administrative coordinator, and she stumbled onto something while handling contracts at her day job. She noticed that Claude AI's long document analysis was genuinely different, more careful, more structured, compared to what she'd seen other tools do. So she started asking, who else has stacks of documents they can't get through fast enough? The answer turned out to be small law firms and consultancies. She packaged that skill into what she now calls a document intelligence package. And in 2026, she's pulling in $2,800 to $3,400 a month on the side, not her full-time income, the side. She started this because she wanted a second income stream that actually used her real strengths: attention to detail, structured thinking, not just generic AI prompting. That distinction is important. We'll come back to it. Here's what most people miss when they try to make money with Claude AI. They treat it like a content mill. They're generating blog posts or social captions and wondering why clients won't pay more than $20. But Claude's actual competitive edge isn't content generation, it's comprehension and synthesis. The model has an exceptionally large context window, meaning it can hold an enormous amount of text in a single session. And it handles nuanced, multi-part documents with a level of consistency that genuinely impresses clients who've tried to do this with other tools. So the beginner AI freelancing move here isn't write stuff with Claude, it's analyze documents with Claude and deliver structured findings. That's a service. That's a product. And it's one most clients don't have internally. Think about a boutique real estate law firm with 3 attorneys. They get sent a 50-page commercial lease. Somebody has to read that, flag the non-standard clauses, check it against the client's stated priorities, and produce a summary memo. That used to take a junior associate 2 to 3 hours. With a well-structured Claude workflow, you can produce a professional first-pass analysis in under an hour. You're not replacing the attorney's legal judgment. You're removing the reading and extraction labor so they can focus on the actual advice. That's worth money, real money. Maya charges between $250 and $350 per document package, depending on length and complexity. She's doing roughly 8 to 12 of these a month. You can do that math. And she's not using some complicated custom setup. She's using Claude's interface with a consistent prompt framework she built herself over about 3 weeks of iteration. I want to get into what that framework actually looks like, because this is where the AI freelancing for beginners piece gets concrete. And yes, this is the part I teased at the top. A document intelligence package has 3 layers. First is the extraction layer. You feed the document into Claude with a structured prompt that tells it exactly what to pull out. Key terms, obligations, deadlines, risk flags, anything that's non-standard or ambiguous. Second is the synthesis layer. You prompt Claude to organize those findings into a clear hierarchy. What's urgent, what's notable, what's routine. Third is the deliverable layer. You take Claude's structured output and format it into a clean, professional memo or report, usually a PDF, that looks like something a consultant produced. Because it is something a consultant produced. That's the package. And here's why clients prefer this over ChatGPT deliverables right now in 2026. Consistency. Claude tends to stay closer to the source material when analyzing documents. It hallucinates less on factual extraction tasks. Clients who've been burned by an AI confidently making up a contract clause once, and it does happen with some tools, respond very well when you can show them a workflow that's demonstrably more careful. You're not selling, "I use AI." You're selling, "I use the right AI for this specific task, and here's how I verify the output." That's a positioning shift that changes your rate ceiling entirely. Maya will actually show clients her prompt structure on a quick screen share during sales calls. Not the whole thing, just enough that they see it's not random. They see intentionality, and that's what converts a skeptical client into a paying one. Now let's talk about where you find these clients if you're starting from zero, because that's the real question when you're thinking about a Claude AI side hustle from scratch. You're not going the Fiverr first. Fiverr is fine eventually, but the clients who value document intelligence work are not browsing $5 gig thumbnails. You want LinkedIn, direct outreach to small professional services firms, and legal tech adjacent communities. Here's the move. Identify 10 to 15 small law firms or boutique consultancies in your city or a nearby market. Look at their website, understand their practice area, and send a short, specific, cold email offering a free sample analysis on a publicly available document relevant to their field, a recent regulatory filing, an industry contract template, something real. You're demonstrating the deliverable before they pay for it. That's how Maya landed her first 2 clients. She didn't pitch the service in the abstract, she showed the output. One of those clients has been a consistent monthly account ever since. On pricing, if you're brand new, starting at $150 to $200 per package is completely reasonable, and you'll still be under what a junior associate billable hour looks like. As you build testimonials and refine your framework, you push toward $250, $350, $400. That progression can happen over 3 to 6 months if you're consistent. And here's the thing I've been building toward, the payoff I teased at the beginning. The mistake most people make when they try to make money with AI in 2026 is they optimize for the wrong metric. They try to do more deliverables faster, more blog posts, more social content, faster turnaround. But in document intelligence work, speed is not your value proposition. Accuracy and clarity are. Maya figured this out around month 2, when she tried to rush a package to fit in an extra client and the deliverable wasn't as clean. The client noticed. Not angrily, but they asked a clarifying question that made it obvious the depth wasn't there. She slowed back down, and her next review was the one that got her a referral. The number she almost got wrong wasn't her price, it was her throughput. More isn't better in this niche. Better is better. That's what makes this an AI side hustle 2026 that actually holds its value over time. You're not racing to the bottom on price or speed. You're building a reputation for quality in a space where most freelancers haven't even showed up yet. If this gave you something real to work with, a like goes a long way. It genuinely helps YouTube show this to other people trying to figure out the same thing. And there are a couple more videos on the channel that go deeper into AI freelancing workflows if you want to keep going. The door's open. It's just not crowded yet.